Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Isaiah Hill, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, this film it stars Bob Hoskins, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, and I'm sorry to say that's pretty much all I can remember. I'll just look at the back. Bob Hoskins, Christopher Lloyd, Charles Fletcher, and John A. Cassidy. But that's really it. Like, nothing else. It was written. This was actually confusing because I got more to explain about it. It's based off a book who censored Roger Rabbit. Screenplays by Jeffrey Price, Peter Seaman, produced by Robert Watson, Frank Marshall, and directed by Robert Zemeckis. That's right, another Robert Zemeckis film. Sorry about that. This film is another childhood movie of mine, and this one mixes and I know like a lot of movies have done this, but this one mixes animation with live action. And this film is it's unbelievable like what how they did a lot of these things. Sorry, a little bit under the weather, but in Roger Rabbit deals like where a cartoon character named Roger, who is a rabbit, there you go, Roger Rabbit, who is accused of murder. And because of an affair with his wife, who is almost like the perfect, beautiful Jessica Rabbit. She is everyone's like, oh well, what's so great about Jessica Rabbit? Like, but then when Eddie Valiant sees her, she is so beautiful. She is tall. She is like the perfect woman. But like Roger says, oh yeah, well I think he's depressed, and then when he's accused of murder, he goes to Eddie Valiant and says, like, I couldn't do it. Like, I can never do it. And Eddie Valiant hates Tunes. He hates Tunes because his brother was murdered by one. But he seems to like Betty Boop, and when he talks to Betty Boop, you can see that he actually does like talking to her. And if you look on his desk, there's a Betty Boop like figure. And he was a part of a circus act like with his brother. And I'll bring that up later. But this film, like how it sets up the characters, it gives so many people like it basically it's cartoons, but the cartoon characters are like real humans while the humans are like cartoon characters. Eddie Valiant is a strong alcoholic. Like he's usually getting drunk, he usually is falling asleep. But then like when Roger Rabbit comes up to him and says, I need your help, because he's hunted by Judge Doom, who's played by Christopher Lloyd, and hyenas. No, weasels. I'm sorry, every time when I always think they're hyenas because the line, you're laughing like a bunch of hyenas. But while Roger's going through all this, he relies solely on Eddie Valiant. But Roger says, like when Eddie Valiant sees him like making people laugh, why isn't he hiding? He's like, I'm a tune. It's supposed to make people laugh. Jessica Rabbit even says like that she does sincerely love her husband and she does care about him, and she's not bad. She's just drawn that way. And if you look on the box, there's Roger Rabbit, there's Eddie Valiant, there's Jessica Rabbit, and Benny the cat, and I'll get to him in a sec. The film is not faithful to the source material. It's faithful to the characters' names, but really not faithful to the source material. Because like in the book, there's like no Judge Doom, And Judge Doom plays like a pretty prominent part in this. And this film was like released like in 1988, I believe, sometime around there. And Christopher Lloyd, who was already well known for, I believe, Taxi at this time and Back to the Future, starring in another Zemeckis film, and then the next year he'll be in another Zemeckis film, Back to the Future Part 2. This one's really interesting, and here's why. Roger Rabbit makes an appearance in Back to the Future Part 2, and on the blooper reel of Back to the Future Part 3. This character I love so much because how it's set up to where Roger's likable, Eddie Valiant's likable. They're both suffering with problems. Jessica Rabbit, she's likable. And Eddie Valiant's girlfriend, Dolores, who they have like comedic, like on and off relationship. This film is unbelievable. It's groundbreaking. And you can tell these animators worked, and the cast worked really hard in order to make the film look like how it is. Because like when you see a toon grab someone, it looks like they're grabbing them. When a toon looks like they're just walking, it looks like they're there. Roger Rabbit basically makes like everything just look perfect. Now, with Roger Rabbit, you got to be careful with how this was I heard like a very difficult movie like to make, and obviously because you're mixing live action animation and you got to have the actors react as if there is something like that they're talking to that really isn't there. And from what I heard, like Charles Fletcher dressed up in like a Roger Rabbit costume, and he would say his lines off screen. And that's a little creepy, but if it works, it works. Charles Fletcher, he also has a cameo, I believe, in Nightmare on Elm Street, and he has a cameo Back to the Future Part 2. Yeah, Zemeckis kind of does use the same people quite a bit. But with this film, it has some like pretty good, like pretty interesting moments in it, like how Warner Brothers and Disney both agreed just as long as their characters get their same screen time. So what they did was they came up like with, okay, they're just gonna appear in the same scenes together. Like Daffy Duck and Donald Duck's a good example here. Like when you first see them, they're playing the piano. And they're basically having like this war, like where they're shooting back and forth. But the most iconic one, and probably this will be the only time they appear on the screen together, is Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse. That's right, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse appear in this movie. With this film, I believe it's the only time they have appeared on screen together and even talking to each other. And it is very comedic, even though it's brief, but it's really amazing. The Toontown is if you can find if you find any Easter eggs, let me know in the comments because there are so many. Let me see, like with Roger Rabbit, I have watched it with the commentary with my eldest brother, and it is like, wow. I've seen the special features, like how they drew out the characters and like how everything was set up. Now the acting is amazing. Zemeckis has like this knack like with acting, like he knows what he wants his actors to do. Like he used to tell them, all right, just act like this. No, it's like basically he gives them like a way to act it out. Christopher Lloyd as Judge Doom is terrifying. Like I find him to be very scary. Now, someone pointed out to me that I don't say spoiler alert. That's because the main reason why I don't say spoiler alert is because I feel like people know what they're going to get themselves into with a movie review. at times, but when it comes to like certain movies like Roger Rabbit, which I'm pretty sure like a lot of people have seen, and if they just come across as I would be like, okay. But yeah, I am grateful for all the people who take their time out of their video, that take their time out of their days and watch my videos because it really warms my heart. Even if they're just gazing by it, it still makes me happy. I mean, I do this for you guys. I don't do it for me. I just do it for you guys. I find it fun. Excuse me. Roger Rabbit was a commercial success, and it's still a film I watch. Like I watch the films in advance in order to get like in order to give you guys my honest opinion. Roger Rabbit deserves an amazing, and again, like Back to the Future, it says up there. I don't think you can see it very well because the lighting's not so good. Let me see. Can I fix it like that? It's barely visible, but it says Steven Spielberg presents. Um, Sorry about that, but because like my lighting keeps going in and out. But this film, I give an amazing. Roger Rabbit is a film like where you watch it as many times as you want. It's unbelievable. Now, Benny the Cab, he was a favorite of mine when I was a kid, but my personal favorite was always the Bugs Bunny because I am a huge Bugs Bunny fan. But Benny the Cab, he's probably my second favorite character because he is just so funny. Like, hey, well, guys, what do you call the middle of a song about to crash into a bridge? The lever, like, which lever do I press? This one, stupid. Like, he just shows them. And it's funny, like, how there's a thing called dip, which is paint thinners. And it's pretty brutal because, like, when you first see it used, Judge Doom just kills, like, a tune with it. And there's the notorious of, like, commando shot with Jessica Rabbit. I mean, like, it was like even like things like the most paused moments, like for Watch Mojo. I'll put a link down in the description below for that for the Watch Mojo video. But what's interesting about the whole thing here is that they make it. I heard like they made it darker. I mean, Watch Mojo will explain it better. But the thing is, like with this film, the acting's amazing. The animation it looks a lot better than some of the animation that we can get at times today. But and that's saying a lot because this is 1988. But yeah, and look forward to seeing Back to the Future Let's Play video up today. I believe it's gonna go up like sooner or later today, but I don't know yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it all I have to say about Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit again deserves an amazing. This is a film I highly recommend. I believe it will be okay for kids, but the final scene, like with it, can get pretty scary and frightening for kids. With an amazing twist, it is a film that I highly recommend to anyone. And this is actually a perfect family movie. If you can let your kids watch Animaniacs, you can let them watch Roger Rabbit. And that's another great show. It's also a Spielberg show, and I loved Animaniacs. So that's it out of me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you wish to see more of my reviews or my Let's Plays, subscribe. If you want to say hi, if you want to say request anything, movie, game, or anything in particular, leave it in the comments. My name is Isaiah Hill. I hope you guys are having a great day. Signing off.